Good afternoon everyone. We have already started doing PIB for 11th to 20th September in the previous class. Now we are going forward in that direction with some other news related to ESI, ARD and GA for PIB of 11th to 20th. Our major focus will be on the main news, the explanation, how they are relevant for the exam, and then we'll move to the news of some lesser importance. Let's start with our first news. It is spices of India. So spices we are talking about, there used to be an ancient route of spices that was called spice route that used to pass through India, Middle East, Europe and economic corridor. Now we are creating this route again, and this economic corridor was discussed in an event. That event came into news. That event was World Spice Congress. Where was it held? It was held in Navi Mumbai from 15th to 17th September. Now an event was held, it talked about something, so it may have set a target also. So the target was to have $10 billion of exports by 2030. We are talking about the export of spices. What are export, For example, it is India's economic territory. If we are sending goods from it to other countries, here we are talking about spices, and having money in return, then it is called exporting. So we are targeting $10 billion export by 2030. In this event, a book was also launched related to spice revolution, right? So I have told you this Congress is actually the conglomeration, the assembly of global spice industry. Who organized this Congress, or from India, who was the main party? It was the Spice Board of India. Now the target is of export, so obviously this board being involved is responsible for the export of spices from India to the world. Currently, we are talking about 11th to 20th September. I hope you should focus on that. We'll answer your question later on. Whatever it will be told to you by the sir, whether I'll be taking it or someone else. Currently, we are talking about 11th to 20th September. So, Karthik, I please beg you to focus on that. Spice Board of India, we are talking about. Spice Board of India is a body responsible for the export of spices from India to other countries, to the world. Now, which ministry is under this? Now, Spice Board of India is under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Why? Because the focus is on the export here, not the growth here. The Spice Board of India comes under the ambit of Ministry of Commerce and Industry. That was all in this news. Coming next, again the topic of exports came, right? So now in exports there are a lot of goods. But what is our focus should be? What should be our focus for the exam? It should be the overall exports, and it should be the agriculture exports. So let's come to the overall exports. The overall exports are talking about the month of August to be 60.87 billion. Also, we have to focus on the trade deficit over. What is trade deficit? That the trade we are doing is in deficit. What does it mean? Means the trade in goods and services. We are exporting something, we are importing something, right? So all it is trying to do that the goods and services which we are in trade, the imports are a little more than the exports. That's why there is a trade deficit. It is projected to improve by 37.85% during April to August. So we are taking a period here for the overall trade deficit. The important thing is agricultural exports, because you are giving NABARD. So it is talking about the month of August. Now you have to give a major focus on the high numbers there, the oil meals, which are 57.26%. Then it is the tobacco 20.03%. Each one of them is important, but the most important are the higher values and the lowest values, that are processed items 12.88%. So this is the export percentage. Other important things is fruits and vegetables, which is 14.19%, meat, dairy and poultry products 16.46%. So some of the important things, all of them should be known, but some are more important than others. It is always the case in an exam, right? So overall imports, we are talking in the month of April to August. It is also exhibited a negative growth of minus 10.35%. if we compare it from the last year. So that was the important things in the exports of India. Coming to the next topic, it is National Logistic Policy. National Logistic Policy has completed 1 year. It was announced in 2022 with the focus of soft infrastructure. If it is talking about soft infrastructure of logistics, who is talking about another fixed infrastructure? Another fixed infrastructure is being held by PM Gati Shakti. So we can say PM Gati Shakti is on the lines of logistic policy, but is a little different in some way, as it is focusing on the development of fixed infrastructure and network planning, while National Logistic Policy is trying to solve the soft infrastructure and logistics sector. Both of them are connected to logistics, but a little different way. What are the targets? Now, how can question be asked in this? First of all, when was it announced? In 2022. Second, if any plan is related to it, I told you Gati Shakti scheme is related to it, then what are the targets under it? Targets or objectives, and what has been achieved under it. First, you set a goal, then how much have you achieved that goal? So the targets under it is, and also if there are any initiatives under it. We just need to know the initiatives under National Logistic Policy. We are not concerned more than that. It is just that target, initiatives. So the target we are talking about, we are trying to reduce the cost of logistics. Earlier, if it is 14 to 15% of GDP, we are trying to make it 8% of GDP. We are trying to improve the Logistic Performance Index. Who releases this index? World Bank releases this index. We are trying to get improved in that index to top 25 countries by 2030. We are trying to have a data-driven decision support mechanism. Everything should have a particular data to back it, and so that we can formulate a policy based on it. That is what is being said under this, right? Also, now the another thing that comes under the NLP, other than the target I have told you, is the initiatives. So the initiatives are mentioned here. First initiatives is CLAP. What is CLAP? There is an action plan in the National Logistic Policy. We are focusing on targeted areas where we are going to improve the logistics sector. They are the digital logistic, the physical assets, the human resource development, the EXIM logistic, the states, right? And the other two are sectoral plans. By each sector and sector, we are going to work. For example, education, health, at different sectors. Facilitation on development of logistic parks. So we'll create a network in form of a park so that it is easy to work in the field of logistics, and the policy will be implemented. So CLAP basically is an initiative which is working in these 8 action areas. Another initiative of the policy is ULIP, which is Unified Logistic Interface Platform. That by the name you can refer, there is unified, yani ki it is going to integrate something, right? Logistic, related to logistic. Interface platform. Interface is, for example, a communication is provided by something in between, a medium. That medium is interface, right? So basically this platform is an interface, which is integrating many ministries to come together and communicate with each other regarding the logistics sector. That is what is being said here, that come together and let us talk about the logistic, where is the thing going, where will it come to. So that is indigenous. India, that is totally Indian, and it is data based. How will you communicate if you do not know what is happening, right? So to get that data, and then the 34 logistic related digital system of the ministries actually integrate with each other to talk about the logistic. Basically, they are knowing the whereabouts of logistic through this platform. Hope this is clear. Then one of the action areas I have told you, EXIM logistic. EXIM is export, import. Export and import. So if we are trying to export products and the logistics are smooth, it will result in better export. We'll have more money. If we are trying to import something, that is in our economic territory, India, we are trying to have some goods and pay money for them, that is import, right? So if we are trying to do this, we want the goods to be in good condition, and you know, the more fast they reach to us, the better it is. So for efficient logistics system, we are focusing on the EXIM logistics sector. We are focusing on the ports. Most of the export and imports are through ports. We are focusing on the roads. We are focusing on the railways. So basically certain projects are being developed in roads, railways and ports for the last mile connectivity, right? And there is also a data bank under this initiative that can track the EXIM cargo. What is going to be exported? What is going to be imported? Who tracks that? Logistic data bank. Look, the earlier days PIB we have covered. This is the revision class, so this only the last class, and this class is for the PIB of 10 days. The answer to Sumedha is this, ki maybe if this doesn't work out, then maybe one more, otherwise not more than that. Fine. And Ayushi, I will try to explain, but if there is any specific thing which is missed by you, then you can tell it to me in the chat box. I will explain. And if even after the class it is not there, you can leave that in the comment. There's no problem, right? Another is the leads. Logistic ease across different states. So like there is a logistic performance index developed by the World Bank to compare the countries, there is also a logistic performance index to track whether the states are doing good or not in the sector of logistics, whether the goods and services are reaching to the people through logistics. For that they have created this leads. This is basically tracking the performance of the states. Fine. Coming next is the wholesale price index. Now you know what is the purpose of a wholesale price index. It measures inflation, wholesale inflation. It measures inflation which is of bulk products, right? For industries. Who releases it? It is released by Office of Economic Advisor under Ministry of Commerce and Industry. So why I am telling you the basics of wholesale price index? Because the index is going to change every month. So maybe the data is not more relevant, but the basics will always and always remain relevant. That is, it measures inflation, the bulk products. Who releases it? Office of Economic Advisor. What is the base year? The base year is 2011-12. What do we mean by base year? That we compare all the data related by comparing this year. Month to month we are comparing this year, right? Then the major groups under wholesale price index are these three: primary articles, fuel and power, but the majority, the highest weightage is to the manufactured products here, right? So that is what you need to remember in the wholesale price index: the base year, the products, who releases them, and who has the highest weightage, right? Now there was another news is about a policy for the cultivation of opium poppy. So opium is a drug, you know, right? Opium gives rise to either the drugs that are used for consumption or that are used for medicinal purposes, right? So this opium, the government wanted that farmers should release that opium, should increase their production of opium. Why? So that they can be used in the medicines and they can, you know, export these medicines to maybe some other countries. So their focus was on increasing the production of opium. What can we do to increase the production? Either we can increase the number of farmers that are producing them, or we can increase the area of production, or whatever production is happening, what we can do, we'll try to increase the efficiency of the production. That if I used to get 10 out of 100 the opium, I'll try to increase it that I get 50 out of 100. That is the case here, right? So this policy was not implemented everywhere. It was specifically implemented in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh. Nearly more than 1 lakh farmers of these 3 states have been given licenses and 27,000 additional farmers. So I have told you what was done during this policy was to actually make farmers to opt for opium production, opium poppy production, and that's why certain features was introduced. What were these features? The features are that if you are already growing opium, you will be growing opium in the same method if your average yield of morphine is nearly 4.2 kg per hectare or more than that. If you are not growing opium poppy but opium gum, that's a different crop, then you have to yield the morphine content 3 to 4.2 kg per hectare for the production of opium poppy by the poppy's concentrate of poppy straw based method. So this is a method under which we extract opium for usage in medicinal. This is a method through which we are extracting the opium from the plant basically. So there are 2 categories in which you can, government is giving incentive. First, you are already a cultivator. Second, you are not cultivating that, but you are trying to cultivate the different variety and you have a specific amount per hectare, like the content is 3 to 4.2. Then you can have this method. So other than that, if there are all the CPS based farmers in the previous financial year who are already growing opium but the government have not debarred them, means anyone who was growing opium earlier is, you know, allowed to grow opium even today if the government is not stopping you. That is what is in the news. What does it do? It increased the opium farmers in the 3 regions, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh. Coming next, we are talking about the sugar availability. What is sugar availability in India? So every financial year, every crop season, you can say, there are different crop season, and you know the crop season of sugar is Kharif. So there is a sucrose production, right? So the total sucrose production is given that it is 373 LMT and it is second highest in the last 5 sugar seasons. So we are comparing the data with the last 5 sugar seasons, and what we have realized that it is the second highest, not the first highest, second highest, and it made Indian sugar the cheapest sugar all over the world. Since we have so much quantity, we can export it to other countries. I'm explaining that, but there are some topics which are quite factual. For example, if any day related come, so I'm explaining everything. I'm explaining that Indian sugar, that is the news here. If I'm telling now, if you want any topic to be specifically addressed, you can type that topic in the chat box, highlight that topic, I'll explain it again. Fine. Otherwise, I'm explaining everything in detail now. It will just take more time. Remember that. Then don't say me that why is it taking so much time. sugar availability I was talking about the total production of sugar is this, and if you compare it the last 5 sugar season, it is the second highest. If the sugar production is so much, and we know if the supply increases and the demand is same, what will happen? The prices of sugar will obviously go down, right? The supply is more than the demand, so we have to sell it somehow. That's why sugar is getting cheap, and Indian sugar is called the cheapest sugar in the world because of the same reason. Fine. Coming to the next topic, transformative. LMT is the quantity in which we are measuring the sugar. Like there is kilogram, there is kilogram, like there is liter. Similarly, the crop of sugar, the sucrose production is measured in LMT. And if you are studying now units, nobody is going to ask you that in exam, what does it mean by LMT. They may ask you what is the production of sucrose production, why India is the cheapest producing country. The next topic is the initiatives in the agriculture industry. What are the initiatives that have recently happened and have become important for the exam? The first one is Kisan Rin Portal. It is a portal. What does a portal do? Portal is a digital interface. We know that. What does this portal do? This portal is providing credit to the farmers through different means. One of the means is Kisan Credit Card. Right? So access to this credit is being provided under this portal, Kisan Rin Portal, through the Kisan Credit Card. Now for providing a particular credit, we are saying here KCC. For example, if it was not KCC or some anything, what do we need? We need some information, right? How will I give you a loan if I don't know nothing about you? So I need some information. So this platform is actually giving me that information in form of your farmer's data, loan disbursement specifics like your bank account or something else, interest subvention claims, like if you have taken any benefit of interest reduction in any other scheme, that is interest subvention claim, scheme utilization progress, which scheme are you still utilizing and what are you getting in benefit of that. That is the kind of data which will be integrated with the banks who are ensuring that this portal is in use. Which portal? Kisan Rin Portal. What is it doing? It is providing you credit through this data. Fine, understood. Next is Ghar Ghar KCC Abhiyan. Now Ghar Ghar by we mean door to door. Door to door we are sending KCC. What is KCC? Kisan Credit Card. What is Kisan Credit Card? The Kisan Credit Card is basically a credit card given to the farmer to access credit for himself and his farm. आपको उधार चाहिए. You need a loan for yourself and your work. So when a Kisan needs a credit for himself or the work, he can access it through the Kisan Credit Card. Now there are many farmers who are under various schemes, but they are not having this credit card. They think that maybe those schemes will help them in the longer run. One such scheme is PM Kisan. What does PM Kisan scheme say? That it will give you 6,000 rupees to the farmer annually. There are some excluded categories also in this that will be available in the scheme class, but 6,000 annually and in 3 installments yearly. So people who are getting the benefit of this scheme may feel that they do not need a credit card, the Kisan credit card. So, but now we are promoting, the government is trying to say that you must take the Kisan credit card, you must become the Kisan credit card account holder, and that is what is being done here in the Ghar Ghar KCC Abhiyan. We are trying to tell you, take the KCC even if you are the PM Kisan beneficiary. And who is implementing it? NABARD is implementing this program of Ghar Ghar Kisan Credit Card Abhiyan. Fine, understood. Next is launch of WINDS manual. What is WINDS manual? Weather related information. What will weather related information do? So there is a digital platform which will provide weather related information to the farmers. When weather related information to the farmers will be given, what would happen? They will be able to plan which crops to grow according to the weather. They will be able to ensure that if they are growing, they have already grown some crops and now the weather is going to change, how to protect these crops. Right? Also, if maybe there is a calamity have come, maybe some storm has come, some cyclone has come and the crops have failed. Crops have failed. Now they have to claim insurance. How to claim insurance? Maybe they were under some scheme. Maybe they were not under some scheme. Right? So how to claim insurance in both the cases? In both the cases, the WINDS plan will help them assure that actually the crops they have failed, the failed is not their failure, it is the failure because of the weather change. So they will be able to avail insurance in both the cases due to the WINDS portal. Clear? That is all in the news here, the 3 programs which are for the farmers' welfare. The next and the most important of 11 to 20 years is the PM Vishwakarma scheme. PM Vishwakarma scheme. It was recently inaugurated at a place named as Yashobhumi. What is Yashobhumi? Yashobhumi is a place created for mice. Mice means meetings, exhibitions, conventions, events, anything that is happening which involves global parties or private stakeholders to come together and discuss about something at a platform that can be done on the Yashobhumi. It is such a place that has been inaugurated by the government. During its inauguration, the phase 1 inauguration, they talked about PM Vishwakarma. What is PM Vishwakarma? PM Vishwakarma is actually a scheme which is based on Guru Shishya Parampara. Guru Shishya Parampara. What do we mean by Guru Shishya Parampara? Here we mean that whatever skills I have, I'll transfer it to my future generations. If I know how to weave, I'll tell that to my future generations. If I know how to make bangles, I transfer that to my future generations. That is the objective of PM Vishwakarma. Why is government doing this? To promote art and craft. They are trying to help the artisans. They are trying to help the craft persons. What will happen when they will give money or they will promote training of these artisans and craft persons? They will have money. They will have something to be sold in the market. The market will give them money back. It can be domestic market. It can be they can export and get into the international market. So what is the benefit in this scheme? The artisans and craft person will get a living because of the training and the incentives. The market will get the domestic products. Our exports will increase, and so is India's name in the field of art and craft will increase. Right? This is happening in the scheme. Now the exact features of the scheme are that it is a central sector scheme. Central sector scheme is which is fully funded by the government, by the central government, and state is not involved in the funding. Its outlay is 13,000 crore and its implementation period is 5 years. So since the scheme is new, it can be asked. Objectives I have told you. It is about the recognition of artisans and craft people, the skill upgradation by giving them training opportunities, by providing them support and modern tools. So everything related to the art and craft, from money to things to training to everything, is given by the government. Also, if they want some loan, they will be given it collateral free. They wouldn't need to keep their home or anything at mortgage for taking a loan. That is collateral free loan. They will also be incentivized for the digital transaction. That is, if you do a digital transaction, maybe you will be getting a cash back. They will be helped in making brand promotion and market linkages. I told you the major aim is to reach the market. Who is eligible under the scheme? Any artisans or craft person working with hands in one of the 18 family-based traditional trades. So there is a traditional trade list given by the Government of India. 18 trades are specified. The number is important, like weaver, like handicrafts, other things. 18 in the 18 list, if you belong to one, you need to register at a community center. And during this registration, your minimum age at least should be 18 years to avail the benefit of the scheme. During the date of registration, you should not have any loan or similar credit-based scheme. Means you cannot avail any other loan if you are applying under PM Vishwakarma scheme. You have to only rely on the PM Vishwakarma scheme. You cannot be under Swanidhi Mudra or any other yojana which is giving you credit access. That is the eligibility here. The 18 trades are mentioned here: the carpenter, the boat maker, the hammer and toolkit, the goldsmith, the sculptor, the cobbler. You need not remember everything. You need to remember there are 18 trades. Maybe the number is asked if the question is too factual. Anyone who is in the government service, and if their family members in the government service, they are not eligible for this scheme. These are the features that if they are giving the skill upgradation, they are being given training, what is the stipend they will be getting. So they will be given a training of either 5 to 7 days or 15 days or more. These are the two categories of training that are present, and they will be given 500 per day as stipend, as income here. They will be given a toolkit incentive. Here toolkit incentive means that you will be given a voucher of 15,000 to avail a toolkit from a specific place that the government will say. That is toolkit incentive. If it is a voucher written at that place, that is also okay. You will also given a credit support. The total support is 3 lakh, but you will be given it in breaks. You will not be given it in one time. It will be 1 lakh and 2 lakh, and the tenure for 1 lakh is 18 months and 2 lakh is 30 months with an interest rate at 5%. So it is not interest free. Maybe the government can help you to reduce it by 8%, but at the initial stage it will be given with the 5% interest rate. Fine. Anybody who has completed the basic training will be given credit support. If you are going without the basic training, you may not be given the credit support of 1 lakh. So this is the other features, that if you are going to do a digital transaction, I said that you will be getting an incentive. What is that incentive? That till the time you have maximum 100 transactions, you will be given 1 rupee per digital transaction. Till the time you have 100 transactions. After that, it is not known. It will not be given. You will be given marketing support through the portals like GEM. What is a GEM? It is a platform of it is an e-marketplace where government is buying the product, the ministries, the government ministries, and somebody is selling the product. So maybe we'll give you a push to sell there. Also, the Vishwakarmas will be given a push to sell at such portals. Along with that, advertising and publicity may be available for them. This I have told you. Major feature is who is the nodal ministry. So Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises is the nodal industry here. Along with that, tribal ministry helps in the implementation, but the nodal ministry is Ministry of MSME, right? So there is a 3-step verification for the Vishwakarmas. On the first step, we come at the ground level through the Gram Panchayats. If it is a city, maybe the urban local bodies. Then we come to the district, and later the approval is given by a screening. So it is Panchayat or the local body. Then it is your district authority. And at last, we need an approval by the actual people who are responsible for the scheme, the screening committee. That is clear to you, the 3-step for availing the benefit under the Vishwakarma. That was a big scheme, and that is the most important thing in the PIB of 11 to 20. Hope you understood it. The second topic is Shreya scheme. Shreya scheme has 4 components under it. The first component talks about education beyond 12th. What do we mean by education beyond 12th? That if an SC student has passed, scheduled caste student has passed class 12th, then he can avail the benefit of studying beyond it through the component of Shreya scheme. That component is top class education. What does it do? It gives the quality education. How many people will get the scholarship? Maximum to maximum 2,500 students. Till what time? This is the tenure 2021 to 2025-26. This is, and who can avail the benefit of the scheme? Anyone who has family income less than 8 lakhs per annum and has passed class 12th. There is also a component that what will be provided under the scheme. So the full tuition fee will be provided and non-refundable charges will be given. They have also kept a ceiling, means they have divided the public institutions and the private institutions. The private institutions will get 2 lakh per annum. There is also an academic allowance of 86,000 rupees in the first year and 41,000 in the subsequent year to take care of living. Means you will be given an allowance for the first year and the second year separately. First year allowance will be more than the second year. You can avail this benefit till the time you complete your higher qualification after class 12. Means your bachelor's, not your master's. Right? Another scheme is what will happen when a person passes class 12? They do bachelor's. We talked about that. What happen after you do bachelor? Either you do master's or you do job. So they have made, the Shreya scheme has made a sub-component of both of them. Either it is the master's or the job. So if you want a job or you want to give an entrance of a good examination, you can avail coaching. That is the free coaching for scheduled caste and OBCs. Now they have also involved OBCs in that. Right? So for scheduled caste and OBCs, you can avail the benefit if you are trying to be recruited through an entrance exam or you want to get into higher education through it. So again, the maximum limit is family income should be less than 8 lakh per annum. How are you given the coaching? The criteria of coaching is that there will be 3,500 slots, 3,500 seats, which will be divided into 70:30. Means 70% of the seats will be for SC category and 30% of the seats will be for OBC category. Now out of this 70%, at least 30% should be for women, and out of this 30% also, at least 30% should be for women. Along with that, if we are not able to maintain this ratio, then what will happen? Then also you can avail the scheme, but there is one difference while availing the scheme. If out of 3500 you are not able to find 70% SC, then at least you have to keep 50% of the SCs. Other 50% can be OBCs. Right? Minimum 50% of scheduled caste are mandatory under the subcomponent of free coaching under Shreya scheme. Fine. Coming next. So we have talked about the job purpose. What if the person want to pursue masters after graduation? So for pursuing masters, everyone has two options, either to do in the country itself or go to abroad. So the scheme under Shreyas have come up with both. If we want to go abroad, we can avail the National Overseas Scheme, especially the people of scheduled caste. Along with that, denotified, nomadic, semi-nomadic tribe, landless agricultural laborers can also avail the benefit to pursue masters and PhD level courses. Total seats under this overseas program is 125. Now if they are sending you abroad, they will keep a criteria to send you. What is the criteria? That you should have less than 8 lakh income per annum of the family. You should be below 35 years of age, and whatever qualifying examination you have given, your bachelor's maybe, you should have at least more than 60% marks in the exam. And whichever university you are going to opt, maybe I am in India, I am going to go to US for studying in a university XYZ. That XYZ university should have a ranking of top 500 QS ranking for an institute. This is a list released by the world and in the world of the top universities, and you should have admission in one of the universities to avail the benefit of the National Overseas Scheme under Shreya scheme. But if you are not interested in going abroad, you want to pursue your masters, your MPhil or PhD in India, then what is the option? Then the option is fellowship for SC students. What will happen? Now you can do the fellowship in the social science, sciences and humanity in the universities recognized by UGC. With that universities, what will come? The universities, to avail the benefit in the universities, you have to pass a qualification that is different for the humanities and science, the national eligibility test. Same is conducted by UGC. The seats are 2000 in total, but the humanities seats are 1500 and the science are 500. The availability for you will be based on the eligibility test. These are the 4 components of the scheme. Clear? Moving on, we were talking about the eNAM portal. What is eNAM portal? We are talking about a digital portal which helps the farmers to do marketing. It can sell their product, it can go for networking to different mandis, APMC mandis through this eNAM portal. That was the National Agriculture Market. This is the electronic market. Like GEM was an e-marketplace for government procurement, it is for the farmers to reach the mandi. This is the electronic place. Now it is available at all India level training portal. Now recently a workshop was held to discuss about this portal, and they talked about eNAM portal was released on 2016. It was launched for creating network of APMC mandis. Mandis which take the agriculture produce and send it to the larger scale. Now it has unified the national market for agriculture commodities. Who manages the portal? It is this Small Farmers Agri Business Consortium, which is under the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers. What are we talking about? We are talking, this is a portal which is helpful in marketing for the farm products grown by the farmers. This portal is run by SFAC. It is a body under the Ministry of Agriculture. Coming next, we are talking about promotion of tribal products. So there is a scheme, promotion of tribal products for Northeast region. So specific focus is on Northeast region and tribals of Northeast region. So there were first phase of this scheme focused on a different segment. Currently it is the second phase of the scheme we are talking about. So initially it is a central sector scheme, means a scheme fully funded by center. State is not involved in funding. So under such are generally under the Ministry of Northeast, right? So maybe they are funding it. Launched in 2023, not the scheme, but the scheme is being launched in the April 2023, so it is the present year scheme and more important, but it has very less information related to it. But the name suggests that whatever the tribal people are growing in the Northeast region, we are trying to promote not only their skills and products, but also we are trying to develop the market for the Northeast products. So it is for the benefit of the scheduled tribe of Northeast region. It was launched in Manipur, but it is applicable for all Northeast. The implementation body is TriFed. So maybe asked, who is the implementing body? The next is Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay National Welfare Fund for Sports Person. So on the name of Pandit Deen Dayal, a fund for sports people have been created. What is the duty of this fund for sports person? To provide money to the sports person. But when to provide that money? That financial assistance is only applicable for outstanding sports person, coaches, their family members. So all three are applicable, whether you are a sports person, you are a family, or you are a coach, but only if that sports person is outstanding, they have been able to bring glory for the country. Now in the circumstances when they are lack in medical treatment, sports equipment, or they cannot participate in the national or international event due to the finance constraint, or they are going through an injury for which they need help, in such a condition this fund is used to provide relief to the sports person, coach and their family as well. Another thing is EPFO and ESI. So these are the employee social security initiatives. What are these initiatives actually trying to do? The social security initiatives are actually trying to highlight that we are enrolling an employee in EPFO or ESI to give them benefit in the case maybe when they retire or when they are leaving the organization or when they are in the need of money. These are the kind of social security we are providing. What is the news regarding to it? That EPFO has added 18.75 lakh members in the month of July, and it has said that this month this much of members are the highest payroll addition. What do we mean by that? That maximum number of people are added in the EPFO during the month of July 2023. Also under the ESI scheme, 19.88 lakh new workers enrolled and 27,870 new establishment. What is it being trying to say? Why are these numbers important or coming in news? They are trying to say that informal economy is turning out formal economy. We are trying to open up new establishment. We are trying to generate new employment, but that employment, that company is also getting registered under either EPFO or ESI. They are getting in the formal system. Coming next, it is National Judicial Data Grid Platform. What does this platform say? We have read about the e-court system. So what is the e-courts phase 3 saying? That we are trying to convert the judiciary into a digital form. This National Judicial Data Grid is a part of the e-court phase 3 project, and this is a national repository of data related to cases which are either, instituted, are pending, or they are being met with, they are disposed. So whether it is Supreme Court, whether it is High Court, whether it is District Court, all the data related to cases is available on National Judicial Data Grid platform. It will provide people access to this platform. Anybody who is new and filing a new case or want to study a case, they can access this platform, right? Another thing is telecommunication bill. So there is a bill related to telecommunication, not in fact a bill, there is a recent amendment related to the bill. What has this recent amendment said? Regarding the digital rights management. What is the digital rights management? Digital rights management talks about that as a digital providing community, I have a right and somebody is breaching that. What do we mean to say? That when we buy an Amazon subscription and we see the Amazon feels that only you are liable to see that, not any other member who have not registered. So you should not leak your ID or give anyone unauthorized access. That is the digital right management. To prevent unauthorized redistribution of digital media, restrict the ways consumers can copy content they have purchased. So how is it implemented? That there is a code generated by the company, say Netflix generate a code. That code makes you do that if you are the purchaser, and if somebody else by chance gets access, it is only for a limited time, or maybe there is a defined number of people who can see Netflix with one ID. That is the digital rights management, right? We have already studied about dam safety, but again I am saying that dam safety, now this is the GA part. We have covered the most important part related to ESI and agriculture. Now this is the GA part. GA part doesn't have more explanations. Explanations make it lengthy. Like when was this conference related to dam safety organized can be directly asked in the general awareness paper, right? It was held in 14th September in Jaipur. And during that, a express was launched, Kamakhya Express, under National Water Mission. Themes are asked: safe and secure dams that ensure nation's prosperity. That was the theme of this, right? So this was regarding the dams here. The GEM portal, I have taught you just now that it is a e-marketplace, where there are certain buyers. Who are buyers? Government is the buyer. Who is the seller? Maybe it can be company, maybe it can be MSMEs, maybe it can be anyone from the government government is procuring a product from whom. So GEM is just providing a platform, a marketplace for you to sell and buy that product. And Ministry of Defense has bought the highest products, both in terms of order value, means money, and quantity. That is the recent news related to the GEM portal. Coming next, now this is again so much factual. Hindi Divas. So we know Hindi as an official language was accepted on 14th September 1949. Now it is factual, can be asked, and so 14th September is celebrated as Hindi Divas, right? Next is G20 Sustainable Finance Report. So there was a report recently come up regarding the G20 Sustainable Finance Report. So there was a meeting related to finance which was going place in 4 places, that are Guwahati, Udaipur, Mahabalipuram, and the last meeting was held in Varanasi. The G20 Sustainable Finance Working Group meetings, they come up with this report to tell out a roadmap, that is the G20 Sustainable Finance Roadmap 2021 earlier was there. Now they have come up with a new report. So this report was released during these 4 meetings. The meeting venues are important. Nothing more is important in this news. There is an organ donation under Seva Pakhwada. So it was said that during the time you are alive, donate your blood. When you die, donate your organs. And there was a Seva Pakhwada, which is service for 15 days. A campaign was going out from 17th September to 2nd October. The dates are important. What are we trying to achieve through Seva Pakhwada? We are trying to give health coverage, transcending the geographical barriers. We are not, looking at geographies while giving the healthcare. We are trying to reach every nook and corner of the country to provide the healthcare services at grassroots level during the Seva Pakhwada. And so this pledge for organ donation was organized at Agra on 16th September 2023. There were some developmental projects going on. Why do we create developmental projects? We try to improve infrastructure at a particular place. Infra at Madhya Pradesh was being improved through petroleum refineries, for energy security. Maybe some IT parks were created for technology development. So development projects are basically which are adding in the sector of infrastructure, energy, technology, and so nearly 50,700 crores were spent for these projects related to petrochemical, energy, industrial park. Only the amount and the names are important, nothing else. There is a Divya Kala Mela. What is Divya Kala Mela? So the Divyangjan, who are the person with disabilities, are coming out to show their creativeness, how creative they are. People who have disabilities, they are making certain products and trying to promote the product. They are trying to promote their art and craft by selling them at a mela, at a event that is called Divya Kala Mela. And this mela was held in September from 15th to 24th at Varanasi. You just need to remember where was this mela held and why was it held. It was held to promote the art and craft, to promote the products created by person with disabilities. Next is Meditex. Meditex is an event. So whenever an event happens, the important thing for factual perspective is where was it held and who organized it, or whether there was any theme related to it. So here it was held by Ministry of Textiles in partnership with South India Textile Research Association. The theme was International Conference on Scope and Opportunities in Medical Textile. Medical textiles, are a special kind of technical textile. They are different from the normal one. They are called for a particular trade of medicine. That's why they are called technical textiles. It was held on 13th September in Mumbai. That is important here. The next is Investment Transition Monitor, Energy Transition Investment Monitor. What is it trying to say? That this monitor identifies if globally anyone is interested in investing in the energy sector and how much are they willing to invest. That is just a digital platform to monitor the investment, right? Next is the Puruskar. Puruskar, is a prize. So recently the Department of Pensions Welfare and it has received this Puruskar for second time in a row for under the category of having less than 300 employees. And this was the Puruskar they have received. Next is Engineers Day. We all know that Sir M. Vishweshwarya was a famous engineer who added into the development of the country, and on his name we celebrate 15th September as a Engineers Day. Next is Bharat can issue internationally accepted OIML. What is OIML? OIML is an international organization that is responsible for tracking weights and measures, and it gives authority to other countries to authorize some weights and measures. So it has authorized India recently to give their certificate for issuing weights and measures. So Department of Consumer Affairs can now issue weights and measures, and India has been 13th such country to be recognized for selling trades and weights and measures. So there is one more campaign talking about Swachhata Hi Seva Hai. So it was held a day before, or maybe in the backdrop of the Swachhata Divas, it has been held. The Swachh Bharat Divas we know is on 2nd October. So before that it is Swachhata Hi Seva Hai is being held from 15th to 2nd October with contribution of Swachh Bharat Mission Urban and Gramin. The theme is Garbage Free India, and it has launched a Shivir also, Safai Mitra Shivir, friendship with the cleanliness, in other words. Also one of the Swachhata Pakhwada, cleanliness for 15 days initiative is launched by Ministry of Railways. That is factual here. Coming next, it is INS Sharda and Nirakshak. So all three news are related to basically some naval equipments. It is factual, and the naval equipments are coming out in some or the other way helpful for India or the other world. The first one is INS Sharda, which is a patrol vessel, offshore patrol vessel. It just went out for patrolling, for looking here and there, and it was given to Mauritius. It is the place Mauritius where it was reached. INS Nirikshak is a rescue vessel. Anybody who needs support while diving or has been gone drowned during submarine or diving can be rescued through the INS Nirikshak. The name itself says Rakshak if you another word say, and it was gone to Sri Lanka to show its capabilities. The next naval initiative is Samudra Prahari. So Indian Coast Guard ship is Samudra Prahari. What does Samudra Prahari do? It is a pollution control vessel. It controls the pollution and it shows its capability in ASEAN countries. Right? So the place is important, and what are the vessels made for, that is important. Again, it is a day related question. When is ozone celebrated? What is the theme? So the date is 16th September. Why is it celebrated? For the signing of Montreal Protocol related to removal of ozone depletion substances. The theme is also Montreal Protocol, fixing the ozone layer and reducing the climate change. Right? Yashobhumi we have studied already. This is important. So recently Ministry of Finance came out with some changes for LIC agents. People who are already working in LIC, now they will be given gratuity of 5 lakh. They will be given renewal commission. Earlier they were not given that. They will be given term insurance cover of 25,000 to 1.5 lakh, and their pension will also be, the rate has increased, it will be at uniform rate of 30%. So these are the measures taken by them. Another thing is UNESCO World Heritage List. So India had 40 sites currently. Recently the committee, 45th committee, has given 2 additions. One is Shanti Niketan in West Bengal, right? Another is Hoysala emblems. Hoysala created 3 important temples in the Karnataka, and they were given the recognition under the World Heritage Site. That was important. So Liberation Day, the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel and K.M. Munshi integrated Hyderabad and Marathwada region to India through Operation Polo and freed it from the hands of Nizam on September 17. That's why they are celebrated as Liberation Day or Integration Day. That is the only thing. It's an important day. There is a coastal cleanup campaign. It doesn't have a specific date. It has just a third Saturday of September, and the celebrating bodies are UNEP and SASIP. That's all in the news. The next news are related to the G20 working group. So the last meeting of G20 can be asked, where was the last meeting of G20 held and when? So the last meeting was held in Raipur, Chhattisgarh on 18 to 19 September. Many of you may think it is 10th, but no, it was on 18th and 19th in Raipur. Also, there are certain initiatives that have been taken in Project Cheetah. We all have heard Project Tiger when tiger was protected, but in Project Cheetah there was translocation. We have brought a cheetah. Remember, we have brought 4 cheetahs last year from Africa, from Namibia to India, and now we are raising those cheetah in India. So that is the Project Cheetah. We are trying that in Kuno National Park. We give, this breed, this species, a chance to survive in India, and we are trying to bring 12 to 14 cheetah annually for next 5 years under this project. Another thing is Udhampur. Udhampur recently celebrated TB Mukt Bharat. We are trying to eliminate TB by 2025. There are certain initiatives like Nikshay which is going on for eliminating TB, and Udhampur have been released an express in the healthcare sector, that is Chalo Chale TB Ko Harane. That was all in this. Some of this very short news. There is an Operation Sajak which Indian Coast Guard conducted at West Coast. Why was it conducted? To alert the people to keep yourself alert. Sajak means that, and that's why was the operation. Index X means India and US defense technologies are coming together to shake hands to collaborate in the defense sector. That is Index X. You can see that India, US. Udaan Bhavan is a place inaugurated in the Delhi Safdarjung airport. The important thing is there is a wallet facilities which is in pilot mode. Pilot mode means for a short area we are just testing with whether the e-wallet is applicable. It will accept RTGS and NEFT transactions only, and the portal will be linked to Bharat Kosh portal where you can pay fines, dues or anything in the government sector. That is where the pilot e-wallet facility is available. Another news is there is a Telecom Technology Development Fund. A fund is created by Department of Telecommunication with the integration of CSIR for the development of Navik Bake Indian Standard Time Traceable Time Clock for the telecom sector. Basically, a satellite based, personalized to India time, a clock has been made. That is what it is written, that there will be a clock which will be linked to a satellite Navik and it will show Indian Standard Time. That is being built with the help of CDOT and CSIR using the Telecom Technology Development Fund. So we have all heard about the Digital Personal Data Protection Act, which will maintain our data privacy. Mera data, mera hai. But the meeting was held for the first time related to the discussion, and it was held in the Delhi. So the place is important. Also, Bureau of Indian Standard is coming up. Bureau of Indian Standards is coming up to create some labs some clubs in the school with the assistance of 1 lakh to Manakaksh. Manakaksh means they are trying to promote research and development related to standard measures in the sector. Another one is performance data. Now this is the last topic and the most important topic, that 2 reports were released and only their winners are important. One was on central ministry, another one was state. In central ministry, Department of Agriculture was in group A category. In state, it was Northeast Ministry and Niti Aayog B, and in state there are Uttar Pradesh in last state. With less than 2000 grievances, the winner is Telangana, and in northeast state it is Sikkim. So that was all. The last is that there was an exercise, Simbex. In this exercise, Singapore and India participated, and Indian ships that participated in are Ranvijay, Kavarati, Sindhu Ghosh and Patrol Aircraft P8I. So again it is quite factual. The last news is that National Medical Commission, which is responsible for the medical education in India, has been recently recognized for 10 years by the world under the World Federation of Medical Education. So we have completed the PIB of 11 to 20. I have explained to you the ESI and IRD related topics in detail. The GA topics were quite short, so I have explained little factual part only. If any doubt, you can leave it in the comment. I hope the class is clear. Thank you.